Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, January 8th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with more information on the potential sale of World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated. Investment banking company JP Morgan has been brought in to advise WWE as the company endeavors to facilitate a sale this year, according to an exclusive CNBC report. The push to sell the company has come front and center since Vince McMahon elected himself to the board of directors last Friday, returning to power in a professed effort to maximize benefits for stockholders ahead of the company's media rights renewals later this year. A sale is expected by mid-2023, and the CNBC report speculated on a wide range of potentially interested buyers who might be putting in bids, including legacy media companies like Comcast and Fox, streaming platforms like Netflix and Amazon, and entertainment holding companies like Endeavor and Liberty Media. Last week, McMahon put himself on the board of directors along with former WWE co-presidents Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, replacing 3 former board members and leading to the resignation of 2 more. The return comes less than 6 months after the former chairman's own resignation last July in the wake of accusations of sexual misconduct and misappropriation of funds. Government investigation into the allegations against McMahon are still ongoing. It is not known what, if any, role McMahon would have in the company once a potential sale is finalized. In ratings news, overnight numbers are in for last Friday night's SmackDown on Fox, with the episode bringing in an average of 2.167 million viewers, down from the 2.441 million for the previous week's show, which featured the return of John Cena. That's according to Spoiler TV. The overnight rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.50, also down from the previous week. Final ratings figures for Friday's episode will be out early this week. In ticket sales news, final ticket figures for last week's major TV tapings are in, with AEW holding both first and last place for the week, according to a WrestleTix report. AEW Dynamite led the pack with 8,822 tickets sold for last Wednesday night's show at Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena, the company's debut in that building. Next was last Friday's WWE SmackDown, which drew 8,641 to the FedEx Forum in Memphis, the highest recorded attendance for wrestling in that building since WWE's Fastlane event in 2015, according to WrestlingData.com. Last week's Monday Night Raw at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville brought in 8,183 paying fans, the highest recorded number for WWE in that building in 6 years. The least attended major taping of the week was last Friday night's Rampage and Battle of the Belt show at Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon, which drew only 4,972 paying fans for the company's debut in that building. In streaming news, Peacock and the WWE Network have added a new compilation in commemoration of Monday Night Raw's 30th anniversary this month. Entitled Best of WWE 30 Years of Raw, the 3-hour special is hosted by The Bump's Matt Camp and features 19 matches and segments covering Raw's 30 years on the air. Included in the compilation are such moments as Razor Ramon losing to the unheralded 1-2-3 Kid in 1993, Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning Vince McMahon for the first time in 1997, Vince McMahon announcing his purchase of WCW in 2001, John Cena and Shawn Michaels' 50-minute UK match from 2007, and Brock Lesnar's return to the company in 2012. Taking a look at PWG's Battle of Los Angeles Night 1 taking place at the Globe Theater Saturday night. In first-round matches, Masha Slamovich defeated Alex Shelley, Brian Keith defeated SB Kento, Commander defeated Latigo, Jordan Grace defeated Jonathan Gresham, Shun Skywalker defeated Aramis, Konosuke Takeshita defeated Michael Oku, Titus Alexander defeated last year's Bola winner Daniel Garcia by disqualification, and in a 3-way match, Bandito defeated Taurus and El Hijo del Vikingo. The tournament continues in the same venue this evening. In news out of Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah has announced the full card lineup for Keiji Muto's last match as the Great Muta, which is coming up on January 21st at Yokohama Arena. In the main event, Muta teams with his generational rival Sting and AEW's Darby Allin to face off against Naomichi Marufuji, former New Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion Akira, and Hakushi, the alternate ego of longtime veteran wrestler Jinsei Shinzaki. A mixed martial arts rules bout between Kazushi Sakuraba and Hideki Suzuki is also scheduled for the show. And in some unfortunate news, Johnny Powers, 1960s and 1970s wrestler and promoter, best remembered as the co-owner of the Buffalo and Cleveland-based National Wrestling Federation and NWF World Champion in the early 70s, passed away on Friday, December 30th at the age of 79, as was first reported yesterday by Slam Wrestling. Born Dennis Waters in Hamilton, Ontario in 1943, Powers broke into wrestling in 1960 in Detroit as a protege of former Canadian light heavyweight champion Jack Wentworth and Detroit headliner Leaping Larry Shenny. As a brash young bleach blonde heel managed by Bobby Davis, Powers challenged Bruno Sammartino for the WWF World title, and during the 1960s was also a challenger to the NWA World title held by Lou Thesz and Gene Kiniski, as well as the AWA World Championship held by Vern Gagne. Powers got involved in the promotional side of the business in the late 60s when he came under the tutelage of Buffalo promoter Pedro Martinez, who eventually took him on as a partner. The two transformed the Buffalo promotion into the National Wrestling Federation in 1970, with Powers as the top star. He held the NWF World title twice, the NWF North American title 12 times, and the NWF World Tag Team title twice. Powers lost the NWF World title to Antonio Inoki in Japan in 1973 as part of a deal by he and Martinez to sell the title and the rights to the NWF name to Inoki's New Japan Pro Wrestling. Powers retired from wrestling in 1982. He's a member of the Canadian Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and in 1991 was also honored in Yokohama, Japan, as one of the 18 greatest fighters to appear in the country, a company that also included the likes of Muhammad Ali and Karl Gotch. Powers kept away from the wrestling business after his retirement, getting involved in the pay-per-view business and in movie development. He died peacefully in his home in Smithville, Ontario, and is survived by his wife Rosalie, son Sean, and 3 grandchildren. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.